Hey, do you guys have time for a short review? All right. Today we're going to be reviewing a health and beauty type item. This is the ReliOn blood pressure cuff. This is something that I found at Walmart in the clearance section for $5. I'm not sure why it was only $5. I don't know if it has something to do with performance. I have not researched this thing. Maybe it had just been on the shelf for too long. Maybe somebody bought this and left a stink on it and then returned it. Let's hope that's not the case. But for whatever reason, it was only $5, and I'm going to be reviewing it today. And I'm going to test it out next to my current blood pressure machine that I use. I've got just another little electronic one, and this one's a little bit different than that one though, so I'll test them out side by side, and we'll compare the readings on both of them and just see how this one measures up. My other one, I think it's pretty accurate, but who knows. It seems to be accurate as compared to like the ones in the grocery stores and even at the doctor's office when they test it. So unless you have white coat syndrome, and then it goes up a little bit when you're actually in the doctor's office, and that has happened to me before, but not to a dangerous level or to anything to be alarmed about, they've told me. So anyway, let's get started. Let's unbox this ReliOn blood pressure cuff and check it out. Okay, so we got some plastic here on the back of it. Alright, so we get the lid off of this baby. Alright, so that looks like it's maybe the blood pressure cuff itself. And whoa, bingo, it actually comes with some batteries. That's an excellent. Alright, and here is the actual base to it. So this is the base, and it says we're here to help, and it's got a 1-800 number on it, so you can call that if you need assistance, it looks like. Get off there. Okay, there we got the screen, and there's the start and stop button. And oh, for a minute I thought, is this thing wireless? But no, it looks like there's the plug-in hole. Let's open this baby up. This itself is a cuff, and I'm thinking it looks like it might have the old-fashioned, yep. I think it's got an old-fashioned pump on it, so just like kind of like the ones at the doctor's office. And no, there's no pump in there. So I'm guessing this just goes directly, it just hooks directly into the, so I'm guessing this just hooks directly into the machine itself. I don't see any kind of yeah, it just goes right in there. So I don't see any kind of a pump anywhere. So this thing must automatically pump itself. The air must come out of it. This must have a little compressor in it or something that fills up the blood pressure cuff. So I know this thing, I know that when you operate one of these things, this is supposed to be in like a straight line. It looks like there's a quick start guide on here that's made out of plastic, so it won't wear out. And it just tells people how to operate this device. And it says make sure cuff tube is securely connected to the monitor, which it is now. And it says slide arm for the cuff until the bottom edge is about a 1/2 inch above the elbow. Tighten the cuff until it is snug against your arm, but not too tight. Push the start button. Sounds pretty simple. And then we have it in, looks like Espanol on the back here. So I'm not going to attempt to read that, but I will show it to you just in case we have any Spanish readers here, and they can check that out. So there's the instructions in Spanish. My other one's got an old-fashioned pump on it, but it does hook up to an electronic monitor similar to this. And the back slides off easily enough. And it looks like it does require all 4 of these Maxell batteries. And I'm very glad that it came with these batteries, so that's a big bonus. We know most products nowadays don't come with batteries. It usually says batteries not included, so this is a big plus. And I've just about got the batteries in this thing now, so. Oh, heard a beep. Sounds like we got some electronic action. Get away from me. All right, so we got the backing on it now. And actually kind of afraid to start this thing without, my arm in it, because I don't know if this thing would try to pressure itself to death or not. So let's get this thing testing and see how it does. All right, so I made an adjustment here and I got it a lot tighter on my arm. It's really hard to tell from the video, but I've got it on my arm pretty tight now. So I'm gonna push the button over here and we'll get it started again. And now I can feel it tightening up. It seems to be moving at a little faster pace than it was before. I know you're not supposed to talk while this is happening, so I'm going to shut up and just let you look at the screen. So we've got 121 over 78. So blood pressure is normally supposed to be what, 120 over 80. So 120 over 78, that's pretty normal. And we've got a pulse. I think it says my pulse is beating at 100 beats per minute, maybe. I think that's what it's trying to say. The blood pressure looks like it might be pretty accurate, so we'll give it another test. We'll test out my iWatch and see what the heart rate says on it while we're testing this, and you know, we'll just check that out too. Okay, so now we're going to test out my other blood pressure monitor, my old one. This is a LifeSource brand, and it's a little bit different mechanism, but I think it kind of works similar, and I'll just let you take a look at it. We'll test it out, you know, see what the blood pressure and pulse say on it, and then, like I said, we'll also check out my Apple Watch. I keep calling it an iWatch, but it's actually called the Apple Watch. And I'm not sure what the difference is in name while we have an Apple Watch and an iPhone. So anyway, I'll be using my Apple Watch also to test the heart rate monitor, just to see how all three of them compare, you know, side by side. So here we go. I'm going to show you the LifeSource machine, and then we'll test my blood pressure on it. Okay, so here's the LifeSource machine, and you can see there it's a little bit different than this ReliOn one. And it's actually got a pump with it that I have to pump. So, and that'll give you a workout and probably raise your blood pressure. You see there, it starts off at 0. So I've got to pump this up until it makes a noise, till the bell goes off, and then I'll start reading my blood pressure. Okay. Okay, so this is saying my blood pressure is 98 over 53, and my pulse is 97, so it is similar to that one, so the pulse is anyway. That one said I was at 100, and I have to admit, I haven't kind of relaxed before I started doing this. I ran and got this and then did it, and it's kind of similar with the ReliOn one. You know, I was doing all that unboxing and running around, and sat down immediately and took my blood pressure. So I'll give myself a little bit of a rest, and we'll test it again here real quick on both of them, just to see if the pulse goes down at all. And I'll also test my pulse, like I said, on the Apple Watch here too. All right, so I've got the Apple Watch on, good and tight. Not super tight, but you know, loose enough that it's comfortable, but at the same time it's tight enough that it should be able to read anything. So I'll get started on testing my pulse with this. Push the button, and this says my pulse is at 95 right now. 93. 96. All All right, so once again, I have the ReliOn machine on me, and we're gonna test it out. All right, so we got it started, and it's pumping up on my arm again. You can hear it. And the screen is raising the pressure. Okay. And it says a heart rate of 97 and a blood pressure of 112/79. All right, so we'll check out the LifeSource one more time, and then that'll conclude the review. We just want to see, you know, a good comparison, and so far it's a good comparison between the two of them and the Apple Watch as far as the heart rate goes. So that's good. All right, so I've got the LifeSource going again, and I'm going to get my workout by pumping this sucker up. I got it pumping up in my arm now here, and it's done. And it's giving us a blood pressure reading of 108/66, and it's telling us that my pulse is at 92. So I think it's accurate. I think they're both, you know, just, you know, slightly off, you know, a little bit different. I've had this LifeSource machine for a number of years. You can actually see it's kind of stained. You know, it's an older one. I've had it for probably 10 years, maybe longer, I don't know. But it seems to be working still good. This is a brand new ReliOn machine, and they have very similar readouts. So I'm pleased with both of them. I think they're both good blood pressure machines. My final analysis here on this ReliOn blood pressure cuff, blood pressure machine, whatever you want to call it, tester. I think this is a really good product. Can't believe I found it for $5 in the bargain bin at Walmart, brand new, never been used, ReliOn brand. I think we've all probably heard of it. Works just fine, came with batteries. Oops, accidentally turned it on. Came with its own batteries and everything. Shoot, the $5 is almost worth the 4 Maxell batteries that came in it. So I feel like I got a bargain here, and I will try to find this and post a link to one of these down in the description. And if I do, it'll probably be on Amazon. It probably won't be as cheap as this one, but at least you'll know how to get one of these if you would like to get one of these, because they are pretty accurate. And like I said, I test my blood pressure when I go to like grocery stores and stuff like that, and it's always pretty much the same as it was on this ReliOn machine and the LifeSource machine that I used tonight too. And like I said, I've had this LifeSource machine for a long time, and it's always been accurate in comparison to like the grocery store or even the doctor's office. Every once in a while, if I go to the doctor, it's a little bit higher than that, just barely, and I think that has just to do with like walking right in there and sitting down, and you know, just kind of the excitement of different surroundings. But it's pretty accurate. It's very similar to what it is on these machines, and so I think this ReliOn machine's very good. And if you can still find one of these old LifeSource machines, these are pretty good too. So I like my LifeSource, but it is a hand pump like I showed you. And the ReliOn is pretty awesome because it pumps itself up. So you just push the button and it just takes off. There's no pumping. I think sometimes when you're doing the pumping action, if you're having to do it yourself, which I do most of the time whenever I'm testing my blood pressure, you know, that might, you know, raise your heart rate and your blood pressure a little bit, you know, giving yourself a little bit of a pump workout there. I don't know. You know, if that's something you should or shouldn't be doing. I know you're not supposed to talk while you're doing your blood pressure, and you're not supposed to move around, and you're supposedly not supposed to have your legs crossed. I had a friend that's into health and fitness, and he was telling me the exact way to do your blood pressure because he studied that in college. So anyway, long story short, I really like this ReliOn blood pressure machine. I think it did a good job. And so as far as this review So as far as this review goes, I think we've got another winner here. And if you've enjoyed my video tonight, please hit the subscribe button. If you have any suggestions, throw them down there in the comments. Any questions, if there's anything you'd like to see me review, throw it down there in the comments. I'll try to get around to reviewing it if I can afford it. It's within reason. I just want to say thank you so much for tuning in and watching my videos, and God bless. Folks, I want to thank you so much for tuning in today. If you haven't yet subscribed to my channel, please hit the subscribe button and you'll be able to come back for future videos. And remember, life is short, so if there's something you want in this life, always remember to never lose focus and follow your dreams. God bless, and until we meet again.